Good evening, everybody. DJ Styles here at Custom Corpses. I'm working on the mouth, trying to get it back to where it was. This is what I'm going off of right here. This is the actual screen used mask right there. And that's what I'm copying. Now, I still got some work to do. I took a lot of that mouth away where I, had it all messed up. But I could already see a couple things, like right in the nostril area, right below the nose, and in that gutter there, supposedly to the top of the lip. That gutter's not wide enough. I can see that this is wider here. The angle's different. Mine's more straight up and down, and this angle's off. So I have to fix that. But first, I'm going to put this on the stand. And I think my Wi-Fi is working really good now. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on. Might have been my phone, might have been Wi-Fi itself. I don't know. First, I want to. God, almost dropped the phone. I got to plug this in. All right. Let's put this where it needs to be. Jesus. There we go. Give me a second here, guys. My Wi-Fi seems to be working okay now. Let me turn on the, I don't need the picture now because all I have to do is get the lip straightened out. I'll show you the picture that I'm using before I get situated there. The picture I'm using to straighten out the lips is from the screen used mask right here. That's what I'm using to get the lips right. And if I can't get that perfect, I'm going to be pissed off. Anyway. Now the reason why this looks a little weird right now, it's a little wacky, is because I have it tilted back, so I'm looking directly at the lips. I have something put underneath of my armature. Give me a second. I still want to keep the lips up where I need to be. And I need to turn on YouTube so I can see what's going on, see what you guys are talking about. Turn on YouTube. Stop already. Okay, we need to go to my channel. Wow, what a difference. Hey, Takeoff Vision. I've been having a hell of a time with my internet. It just seems like it's working fine now. I don't know what happened. I checked with my friends because I was working all weekend. I don't need to see the picture. Actually, I should. Need to see a little bit of the picture to make sure that I'm not getting bounced off. Yeah, no, I know that. And you know what the problem is? If you could, I can show you. Oh, man. How do I do that? How can I screw it? All right, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit better on this. Let's explain. I don't know. I came home last night and my internet was working great. I checked the Wi-Fi speed and it was back to where it normally is. Okay, so one, I have this thing tilted back. I have it tilted back. like this. I'll show you. That's laying flat. It still doesn't look correct in here. Looks like it's puckered. I know what you're talking about, and this here looks a little weird. I have to figure that out. That's going to be another fun job. What does that say? Vinny? Is that Vinny? Venus? Venus Candy? Is that what that says? Say yes if it's what I'm correct. Because I'm far away. Do me a favor. Once I get your names down, text in capitals. Put your caps lock on so I can see what you're saying. I'm a ways off. I am big time a ways off from this flashback mask being done. There's a lot that still has to be finished, and I've got corrections to make on the cheeks. This cheek dips down just a little too far. I have to bring this up just a little bit more rounded in here. I'm trying to figure out what is it about this area. Maybe I have too much. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I have too much here. Excuse me. Got the sneezies. Yeah, there's work there still has to be a lot of work done. I've got to get this right, and I am not settling for less than perfect. I'm going to have to look at this from all angles. I think I've got the upper lip really close. And what I did was I flattened out this area, and then it tucks in real like a much steeper angle in here. This is much more correct. And when I was doing, I have a picture of the actual flashback mask sitting on the screen or sitting on a desktop with, I think it was at a convention, one of the pictures that one of you guys sent me. And so basically, there wasn't enough, it wasn't like bulging out at the top or upper lip from like here to here. This needs to be almost flat across, all right? But it needs to come out further, and then this looks like this has to go in deeper, the corners of the mouth. Mine, even on my other mask, is more like, straight out. In other words, if you can imagine this is how it is now, where mine was like that before. Let's see, that's the angle now, and then it was like that, if you understand what I'm saying. All right, you see that space between the two? That's exactly what the problem was. And the same thing on this side. Mine was more like this, and it made the mouth look longer than it actually was. Let me read your comments. Takeoff vision. The flashback is growing on you. Yeah, it looks small because it's tucked in deeper. It's still the same width because I didn't change the width, but I went deeper on the corners of the mouth, and it makes it look more narrow. It's really weird. Like this still has to. Maybe I'll widen it a little bit more. Are you talking about narrow this way, or are you talking about narrow this way, or this way? The bottom lip still has to be brought down a little bit more. That I do know. That's like still too. can tell you this because it doesn't look right. This area here has to be pushed out. Just a little bit wider. Same with this side. That just took out that puckered kiss look. It did take that away. If you see what I'm saying. There's just so much, every little, let's see what you say. Respectfully, Takeoff Vision, I am not near the nag mask yet. My nose is now too long. I don't have it rounded in here. The eye cuts aren't quite right. And I also noticed something else. I have to bring these eye cuts not down. I have to bend them in a little bit to get them more, let me explain. As a matter of fact, I'll just take you, I'm going to show you the 2014 or the 2018 mask. All right. And I know that he kind of, like when he did the flashback, he pretty much did the same thing. All right. Let me show you something on this. And this is where I think I'm making my big mistake. Trying to make this flashback. All right. Now, if you look at, can you see this? Now, if you look at the top of the head, you have the bulge right in here, right? You have the bulge, which gives you the overcasting shadow. But if you look at the you look at the way the cut of the eye is here. It's tucked in. It goes down, it goes straight off the edge and then tucks in a little bit. And that is what gives you that massive shadowing. And yet you can still see the edge of the eye cut. Mine are a little bit, they're kind of like just straight out. In other words, mine look like, let me see if I can just give you an edge. Mine are more straight out like this. And then have the cut there. I need to tuck this in and roll it. I need to roll this under on my flashback. And same with on the edges. Now if you noticed, you see this cut here? It's almost dead even with the cut of the eye cut. But it sinks back from the top of the scowl. The scowl area overhangs this by a lot. And that's why it gives it the natural shadowing. It's not so much the eye cut that's giving the shadow, it's the actual scowl itself. That's where I kept making my mistake. And I'm going to repaint this in one of my upcoming videos too, guys. I'm gonna repaint this. Now this mask I'm going to end up throwing away because I've got, you see this dark yellowing here on this mask? That's all hard and cracking. So is it on my nose. The latex didn't hold up. When I took all the paint off of this thing, I used a burner, which I know now that I can't do because anywhere I touched it with a burner, it dried up the latex and it created a lot of hardening back here especially. Look at this. Let's let this area here. You can hear that. Listen to this. You hear this? The latex is stiff right here and it's cracking. Like you can see the cracks in that. See that? Yeah, this mask is pretty much shot. Now I could probably paint this with a really thick latex in those spots to try and salvage it. I just don't know. I don't know if the latex will keep rotting out from the inside. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix this by making sure that I tuck the eye cuts under. I'm going to tuck the eye cuts under like it is here. The scowl's going to be nice and bulging still, so you still get that overhanging shadow, right? You still get the shadowing, but yet inside the eye cut, where the cut it actually is, that's kind of tucked under and rolled around. That's not that hard of a thing to do. As long as I maintain the eye cut the way it is. I just can't change. If I start cutting away from this, I got to make sure that I keep the cut the exact same size. I don't know if this made any sense to you guys, but I think that is the reason why my masks, including the Night Creeper 78, although that's a little bit more tucked. That's more tucked than this one here. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do to get that right, to get it look right. Which, you guys going to be joining me? The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with this one. First thing, I'm going to use pure latex, mask latex paint. I'm going to have to thin it a little bit with some distilled water. But I'm going to use black acrylic paint and mix it to my latex with a little distilled water. So I don't want it too thick, because then it'll cover all the cracks and everything. I don't want it to fill the cracks. I want the black to go into the cracks, but I don't want to lose the texture. So I have to thin that mask latex paint down pretty good, so it just fills the cracks. And then what I'm going to do is, once that whole black face completely dries, I'm going to use all black, so it fills all the cracks in black. I'm actually going to use variable colors. I'm going to use like a greenish, a blackish, and a brown, dark brown. So it's going to be a montage of, and I'm going to mix it in such a way where there's going to be green tint on like an area of the paint with brown and black mixed, but it'll be heavier green. I'm gonna make little palettes, 3 little palettes that are going to give me. It's going to be black, green, and brown mixed together to give it a muddy look. But each one's going to have, one's going to be blacker, one's going to be browner, and one's going to be greener. But it's still going to be really close in color. But why I'm doing that when I paint this is because then I'll get that natural variation of darkness underneath of this. And that causes, anytime you add several layers of color, you will get more variation with depth in your paint job. So I'm going to do, now I've never seen anybody do it the way I'm going to do it. So it's going to be fun. So I'm not going to rub it off as long as I make sure it's a thin black overlay of paint that goes over top of the whole thing, even the back, even the top of the head. I'm gonna paint the whole thing in black, and then I'm going to dry brush. The first color I'm going to use, and this stuff is amazing. It's made by Nightshades. It's actually it's motion picture effects paint, and this is Zombie Flesh Medium, and it's made by Nightshades. It's Nightmare Toys actually sells it. See that right there, guys? Nightmare Toys. That's a pretty big bottle of this stuff. I won't use nearly that much. So the first coat, the first brush, dry brushing, is just going to be this color here. Then the second dry brush is going to be the same paint, only with white. And when I do a dry brush on it, I'm going to do a real light dry brushing, because you got to sneak up on this, because if you overpaint this, you will have all your texture completely gone. You don't want all those black lines that you just painted this face. You want all that to stay where it's at. So you have to do a real light dry brush. All those little cracks and everything are going to fill up with black paint, and then you're going to dry brush over it really, really sneak up on it so you don't fill those black lines. And even if I do fill them here and there, I'm just going to have to fill them up with black paint again just by using a real fine needle brush. So, yeah, this is the flashback. I just never got around to it. I'm going to do it even though this neck is drying out like that. Maybe the latex going over top of it will, salvage it. I don't know. But if it doesn't, I'll just order another one of these and get another. Yeah, oh, it's dry on the nose too. Right here on the nose. It's all dried up right in here. So, yeah. I have to get another flashback mask. That's what I'm going to do. Or not flashback. Another 2018 mask. And I took all the paint off of this, in case you're wondering. That was a job, and I did it with my Dremel. But even the Dremel wouldn't get inside the cracks, inside these cracks. So what I had to do was I used my burner. I have a burner that I burned in and got rid of all the paint that was inside the cracks, even in here, up in here. I even made the edges. You see how this is all cut in? Let me see. You see all the little, see how it's all separated? That's going to be really cool because it's going to look naturally rotted out. And that's not natural because latex doesn't rot this way, but it's zombie-ish looking, the cracks in the. So instead of painting them on there, they're going to actually be there in the mask. I'm going to have to figure out another way to do this. To get the paint out of the cracks. You got to be careful with latex. Latex is a pain in the neck when you're trying to use too much, like if I use mineral spirits or something that will eat paint away. Problem is it also eats latex, so you got to be careful. Got to be something that's effective. But we are going to paint this, and let's get back to work on the sculpture. And let me read your text real quick before we get back to that. All right, let me see. I gotta move this over just a little bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, first version. Well, I thank you, Takeoff Vision, because I mean it's not easy. Venus Candy, if you're still there, appreciate the comment. Looking good. It's coming along, but it is nowhere near done yet, and I want to keep going with this, guys. Yeah, I'm going to fix all this. I'm going to fix the lips. I'm going to fix, I made the mistake. Takeoff Vision. This is interesting. Remember, you guys were on the other day, and I made the mistake of piling clay onto the face, trying to get it so it was sticking out instead of what I should have done is I removed all that. That's all gone. All that clay that I added there. What I should have done was dig deeper into the corners. That's what I should have done, just like I did here. That's what I had to do. Not man, I wish I could. You know what? I might show you that. I am going to show you that. I'm still not quite ready. Still not quite there yet, but I'm going to show you this anyway. All right, let me get that other picture up where what I'm talking about as far as the mouth depth goes. I think this is, even though this is on an angle, no, this one's clearly better. Now This is the screen used mask that I have here in the picture. Now I'm going to show you this and point it out. Okay, let me put this down and then point it up right at the picture. All right, this is the screen used mask that you're looking at right here. This is sitting on top of, I believe, Christopher Nelson's desk when he was at a Monster Mania or one of those conventions he was at. All right, so by having that, I'm sorry, I just stepped on the stand and probably shook the camera all to hell. By having this angle, this picture here with this angle, this allows me to see the thing that's not seen. And this is what I'm talking about when you don't have three-dimensional, you're going off two-dimensional pictures. You're looking at a picture that goes straight on, a dead-on shot, and it doesn't give you, let me try and get into a position where I can show you. All right, you see how this is flat across here? From here to about here. This is pretty much almost the same depth. As soon as you get to about here, it really tucks in to the back of the sculpture. It tucks in from here in. That is where that picture shows me exactly from here to here is kind of pretty much flat across. And then it tucks in at the very end. Now you can't see that in pictures unless you have an angle like that. And now I'll show you what I'm talking about with mine. Now I have this side. I have this side almost perfect. The tuck in there, and I have this flat across, and I'm starting to get closer to this side, but this side's still got to come in just a little bit further. But do you understand? This is what gives this sculpture such a different, it's very difficult. It's not an easy thing to do because you got so many different angles, and if it wasn't for that picture right there, I would not have never revealed, I would have never understood getting this thing really close. Now let's get us back up to where we were. Okay, I think I'm close enough to where we need to be. And I will have to keep working on that mouth because I can see that I still got to come in just a little bit more on this side. But see, now I'm looking at that, and I want to bring it in just a little bit further, but I also want to go a little wider. Okay, so yeah, I might go a little wider so it gives it not. It doesn't look puckered. We don't want it to have a puckered look, and it's no comments, guys? We're still on, right? Just say, somebody say yo. This way I know I'm still on. Internet has sucked. And sometimes if I get bounced off still, I'm going to be ticked. All right. So I can see. Thank you. Take off vision. All right, cool. There's a little bit of delay from my actual talking to what you guys get. Probably a good 30 seconds before you see and hear me, you know, when I'm talking and what I'm doing. It's like a 30-second delay between actual time to what you're seeing. All right, so you know what? I am going to pull that in just a little bit, and I'm also going to widen it just a little bit more. All right, so let's do that. All right, I have to, now the angle's not going to look right to you, but I have to put this in here, or else I won't be able to get the angle right. I am going to tuck these in just a little bit wider. The mouth looks too narrow this way. So, I need my big you know what, let's do it this way first. Let's do it this way first. We're only talking about maybe yeah, that's going to look a lot better. All right. So what I did was I just ran about how far I want to go with this. And then what I do is I take this little piece of tool right here. Let me show you. I take that tool right there. One edge is a cutting edge and the other edge is a moving edge. It's the only way I can explain it. So we are going to go in. Actually, I'm going in the wrong way. Okay. Ooh, looks like a big mess, don't it? It's okay. I'm trying to keep the angle the same. See this angle here? Okay. Now, I know it looks like I really destroyed this thing, but I didn't. Pulled a little too much out of this nook right here. But that's the amazing thing about clay. You can always fix what you screw up. All I do there okay. Now we're going to bring this up a little bit more. The mouth won't look as narrow now once I get this done. Alright, this is too much, not enough clay is in that crevice yet. I want to put enough in there. And then dig it out. Okay, now back into this. Still feels like it's not quite there yet. I really dug into that pretty good. But I do need that dug in. You'll see. Now we're getting there. Oh yeah. That looks a lot better. As I'm working with this, I want you guys to definitely comment. All right, I got to fix this mess over here. When you're right-handed, I can tell you this. It ain't easy working from the left side. Yeah, that looks really good. I really pulled that down far enough now. It looks really good there. Yes, it does. Now let's see if we can make the... This is the right side. You're left looking at it, but it's on the right side. If you're wearing this mask, that would be the right side of the face. Well, you guys aren't very chattery tonight. Am I doing all the talking? All right, so we're going to go here. Oh yeah, that definitely looks a lot better. You were right. Takeoff vision once again. A hero tonight. It definitely was too narrow. It's not that it was narrow. It was just that because it was the same spot. This is actually wider than I had it because I went deeper in the corners. Then it created that much more narrower. All right, so I need to get this into here. When I get this right, yeah, that looks so much better. Yeah, don't it though? Especially with that mouth going over far enough now, it looks right. Definitely looks right. And I just have to blend all this stuff in. Now the lower lip still has work to do. I still have some lower lip to take care of. Now looking at it straight on, it looks right, but I can tell you, still isn't quite right. All right, so I still got shaping to do in here, and I got stuff to do. Stuff to do in this, that's for sure. Yeah, that's really starting to come together. Now it looks like his nose is up in the air, but shit, this thing's not. Needs to get out of the way so you guys can see what this is. What do you think? A lot better looking? I have the camera looking at me. This width is definitely, and this drops off deeper now. That by adding that, yeah, that works good. And see, it still maintains that flatness in here, and then it starts sinking in further over here, and that's what creates that look. You know, I say to myself, Christopher Nelson had to have access to something, and I actually think he used the. I think he used the actual William Shatner life cast. That's what because the life cast actually does the same thing. It has that, it's flat in this across here on the top, on the upper lip, and then I don't mean completely flat. It's, you know, you still have shape to the lip, but it's the depth is about the same here as it is here, all the way across, and then it tucks in, and this all has to be smoothed out. All right, let me read your comment because I can't see. I can't wait either. Tell you the truth. You know, I'm really excited for this sculpture to come to life. All right, so with that being said, let's get away from the lips a little bit because I mean, before I came on, I did a lot of work to this. I was working on this for like maybe an hour before I went to make sure I removed all the clay. That I had put on there. Just approaching it the wrong way. That's what happened. And as I was putting it on is when I realized, oh man, I should have went deeper this way instead of, you know. So, and it still doesn't quite look right. I think it's the underlip here that has to be fixed. It still looks like it's puckering. And I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking at the picture now. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This lip, it's coming in, it's scooping out too much. It has to be more of a yeah, that's exactly what's wrong. I also have to check the angle to this. So just for fun, I want to start working on the eye cuts to bring them down and tuck them in. And that's nothing. It's going to look really good when this is tucked in. You're going to see that this thing's really going to start coming to life. It's going to look more like the flashback. Now, with the wrong lighting, I don't even need a picture to see, because I felt that, and I also looked at it to get the right feeling. Rounding it over. I'm going to turn this a little bit because I can't work on the left side. Yeah, and I also have a lot to do here. Like I have to fill this in and make the nostril more round. Yeah, that's the way that's supposed to look. It's not supposed to come all the way out to the edge of that nose. Oops. That's a little soft. You see that subtle difference that I've made that happen? I took that sharp edge off the eye cuts and rounded them over. That's going to really make a difference. I truly believe that. Still got to fix the eyebrows yet. But I'm not going to do that until I get everything just right. Asylum, hey buddy. Yeah, the lips do look, they look more accurate, but they still look a little puckered up a little bit, and I think that's the shape of this area is quite not right yet. I don't know yet. I have to figure out why it doesn't look quite right, and I'm still not there to figure it out. It's Not 100% yet there. All right, so I know what partially this problem is here. That looks a lot better there. Believe it or not, shaping is mostly with my hands. Yeah, that's starting to look a lot better there. But I noticed something with the flashback mask. The cheek, the I'm gonna, since it's facing me this way, the right side here. This right cheek feels too high compared to this lower cheek. And on the original mask, they're even. All right, but on the flashback mask, it is higher. I don't know why, but it is. And I've been looking at the different flashbacks, and that cheek is maybe it needs to be lowered just a little bit, but it's not too much. It's not too far off from the truth here. I narrowed the jaw down a little bit. That's pretty close. I still have to widen the head, and I have to pitch the ear area a little different. I also have to fix this nostril. I got the one nostril fixed, now I got to fix the other one. Flare out. Damn it. My skin's really rough from handling naphtha. Not supposed to handle that stuff, but I've been doing it. Kick myself for doing it. Alright, so let's see what my problem is here. And now, use a little scooper here. Getting the nostrils to look right can be challenging. Everything's a challenge. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? So you guys actually could see that my internet's working now, and don't ask me what happened. I don't know what happened, but it definitely wasn't working right. Why doesn't that look right? Okay. Yeah, because this area here is round. Not long. Still feels like it's elongated here. Hold on. What else going on? All right. Okay. I think I got that. But I need my small loop to clean out the mess. That looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Now, I got to figure out what profile. I've got to find a really good profile of the nose on that flashback to get this really accurate, because it's pissing me off. The reason why I had such a hard time getting this nose back to normal, not only were the nose nostrils too flared out, but I had the nose slanted this way, all right, because the original mask, there was a light crook, there was a little bit of a crookedness towards this nose. So what I had to do to fix that was I had to take away some clay on this side and add clay here to give it a straight run, because the flashback has a straight nose and the nostril flare outs aren't that wide. So I think what I'm going to do here, there's a lot still has to be done, trust me. Just right now, I'm just trying to rake out some of the lumps and bumps that are in here from carving. What don't I like about these lips? I think what's causing a lot of the puckeredness is it's still bulging too far in this area. I'll read your comments in a minute. Now, one side is not exactly like the other, too. That's another thing people have to remember. If you make it too uniform, one side looks exactly like the other, you're not going to have a very convincing sculpture. I have to fix this bottom chin. This is driving me nuts. That is so far from right. And I think, how do I do it? I think this is just too deep. the overhang is. Let me try something. Since this clay's nice and soft. Start right in the center where it's really deep. What is it? What is it? Trying to figure it out, guys. Trying to figure it out. Just feels like the angle's wrong or something. There's something not quite right here. Did I go too far with the chin? I might have carved the chin back too far. Yeah, it almost looks like the jawline's too far back. Let me look at the profile real quick. The chin's where it needs to be, but what is it? What is this? I have to figure it out, guys. This is a tough one. Now let's do this. Let's work on what I can work on. So, guys, I get my ablation on the Tuesday the 26th, and hopefully everything goes good. And I should be fixed. It's going to be some recuperation time, probably 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I don't know how good I'll be. I know the first week I'm supposed to stay pretty much in bed. The second week, very light activity. I can't do too much. But I can sit here and sculpt, maybe. We'll see how it turns out. You know what I mean, guys? Wouldn't it be cool? I'll be fixed, feel 1,000 times better, have more energy. I don't, not the first week, but I'll definitely feel better. I gotta figure this out. There's something wrong with this. This looks like it's like this. I gotta get a good profile picture of this and see what the hell's going on. There's something wrong with it. It's from here to here. This region here, the pitch is wrong or something. I don't know what the hell it is. It's pissing me off though. It's gotta be right. I am not playing with this. It's like the jaw's not out far enough or something. I don't know. I have to figure it out. or the neckline. The neckline might be sticking out too far this way. There's not enough jaw here. This has to be brought back further. The neck itself has to be smaller. I can tell you that right now anyway. That I do know. But there's something off. It feels like the angle's wrong. From the nose down, this angle is wrong. Something is wrong. And all the clay filling in here isn't doing nothing. So I need to get a good profile picture. Asylum, you can see the left on the left side. Yeah, well the ears are all getting replaced, so don't even worry about the ears. The ears are getting completely redone because I have to widen the top of the head. The top of the head still has to be done. So that's that. That's pretty much. I gotta get an angle. I need a picture, a profile picture. Let me see if I can find a profile picture that I can look at. I'm done working on the lips tonight because if I have to change this pitch, something's wrong here. I have got to figure it out. It's got to be right. You guys are looking at it dead on, but there's things I'm seeing. I'm going, no, this is definitely not right. So that has to be fixed before I can even actually go any further with it. I have to get the pitch right because I'm going to have to reshape the lips and all that again, possibly. Let me find a picture that I can use. I know the one that I need to look at. No, this is Armage Studio. Okay, this isn't the same mask. All right, I need the flashback. I need the real screen used. Damn, they don't give you one with a profile. Here's one. Okay, I'm going to show you. And what I did was I took a picture of the screenshot. I took a screenshot of one of the pictures, and you'll see that it's more vertical where before it was turned on an angle, but you'll see it now. This is the picture that I got to go off of right here. And there is something way wrong with that profile. There's something way wrong, and I have to figure it out. Now that's going vertically up and down, straight up and down. That's what that mask looks like. That's the actual screenshot from the movie. So there's something way wrong with my sculpture, and I have got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. I'll grab my soda because I'm dying of thirst. I don't drink nothing. The only soda I drink, and I don't drink a lot of it. It's rare. Actually, it's very rare that I drink it at all. But tonight I'm in the mood for a soda, and the only one I'll drink is Canada Dry Ginger Ale. What is wrong with this? This is brutal. I think I know. think I know. The eye cuts, believe it or not, you're going to be mad at it, but the eye cuts aren't quite right. And from a profile angle, I have to fix that. The nose is still too prominent. Yeah, your lower lip's only part of it. You know what I should do? Because this is almost the exact same size. The picture on the screen, if I trace out that picture and I put it up next to mine, that'll give me the right head pitch. Yeah, I'll be able to see what's wrong. I don't think I have any tracing paper though. I have to see if I have any tracing paper left. I can use saran wrap. That's not stiff enough though. Well, I use saran wrap, trace it out on the screen, then put that saran wrap on top of a piece of paper, and then retrace it. Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm. Plus, I have to look at this picture and try to figure out what angle they're seeing that picture from. In other words, where is that person's eye? And I believe he's looking upward on an angle like this. Which, how I replicate that, get this out of the way, is, and turn that up on its edge like this. Let's look again. Let me turn this because it's not quite the right. There we go. Oh man. Damn. Everything is so close, but yet so far. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is that nose is way wrong. I also noticed something else too. It's more vertical. I have to figure it out. I'm looking at it, and I'm almost dead on with everything. but the angle's not right. I can't figure it out, guys. So the problem is I need a mask. I really need. I should get a. Um, I should pick up a flashback from NAG. I got a news for you. As much as you guys may not like it, they got the head shape right. They really did get the head shape right. Maybe the details are a little off on the NAG mask, but the head shape is definitely on the money. And for some reason, I am not nailing this head shape. Got the lip depth is right. Everything's right there. What is it? What's wrong? The nose is there's too much nose on the tip. Okay. Let's work on one problem at a time as I see it. Let's get the nose straightened out. There's too much nose on the tip. I got to bring it down some. Hmm. All right, let me turn this sideways once I clean this mess up that I just created. What is this? What's the problem? Tip's still too, not enough pitch on it. Not round enough at the nose, the top of the nose. looks a lot better. That nose looks a lot better. At least the right. Okay, what do you got going on there, guys? I Takeoff Vision, I'm not really trying to copy his mask. I'm not trying to copy it. I'm trying to just get the right, I'm trying to get the head shape. I just wish I had some kind of, like if there was a way to, the only way I could probably do it is if I actually use the actual life cast. And that's what he actually claimed to use when he created. He tried Christopher Nelson when he created that. That's the life cast right there. Now, what is wrong with this? I'm looking at the life cast side by side with mine. You know, this is the life cast. This is William Shatner's life cast, the actual size and everything. This is the real deal. This is what they used on the original movie, Halloween. They had a William Shatner mask from this life cast. Now, maybe it was altered a little bit. I don't know. I doubt it. Why would anybody alter a cheap mask like that? I think what they did was maybe over periods of production time. I'm sorry, I'm blocking your view. Over time, when it was in production, it might have gotten a little demented looking, you know, from the original. But this is the life cast. If I really wanted to replicate a good flashback, maybe I go with this, and I just go with this sculpture, because this is what it's. This is the life cast. And yes, I'm copying this life cast, but this is actually William Shatner's face. And you see how this is puffy, like how this, see how the lip sticks out here, but it's flat across? See how it's flat across? Let me show you it on that angle. And it tucks in and down. That's the actual life cast. That's how it is. Now this side, it protrudes out on this side. Right here, it bulges right in this little area here, but it tucks back in. So I mean, there's a lot to be said for this. If I go with this, I'm going to make it look exactly like this, and just make a life cast replica, only in a much bigger scale. I have to make it as big as that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is when it comes to. I see the pictures, but the pictures don't give me every angle. I did get the lips right, and it was just what I thought with this. The lips are about the same. Let me see if I can. Let me just look at this and see if I can see a problem. No, I get it. I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really don't want to copy anybody, but we're still copying the life cast, because that's what it's really about right here. Oh shit! I messed that up. Anyway, we're trying to copy the life cast. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. but it's the little changes that were made to the mask that gave it its unique look. That's why I think these replica masks, any kind of Shatner, or it doesn't matter if it's just, doesn't matter whether it's a Michael Myers mask or any mask. When you're trying to replicate a person, it's very, very difficult. There's not very many artists that are real good at it. You know, real good and accurate. And the ones that are real good and accurate, they're making a lot of money. A lot of money. And sometimes, I saw a Clint Eastwood. Somebody did a Clint Eastwood. And man, it looks so good. Yeah. Still feels like the nose is sticking out too far. No, the lips are pretty much on the money. I can show you by looking at the... Give me a second. I'll show you my screenshot with the sculpture right in the background. Let's see if I can do this right. Let me zoom out. See what I'm looking at? Take a good look at this. Pause it. Do a screenshot. You tell me what's wrong, because I have not figured it out quite yet. There's something wrong, though. Yeah, I know the nose is sticking out too far. I can fix that. That's not the issue here. I don't know if it's the shape of the head. I can't figure this out. It's driving me crazy. Jawline's pretty much on there. I think the scowl's sticking out too far. Right here, this area is sticking out too far, and this needs to be cut back further. The top of the head just needs to be shaved back further. Let's try changing those two things real quick and see what happens. I'll bring the scowl back just a little bit. All right, let me put the camera back where it was. Can you see that okay? Just say yes or no. This way I don't have to get up. You want me to know? You want me to zoom in again? Just say yes or no. Let me zoom in. I'll zoom in anyway. How's that? A little better? Yes, I'll zoom in. There's the zoom in. Yes and no. Yes, no, yes, no. All right, Is it okay? Can I leave it the way it is, or do I need to zoom back out? Because I need to fix this. I'm gonna look at this thing and try to round off the top of the head and lower the scowl just a little bit. Yeah, that looks like that's sticking out too far. That's better. Clean up the mess a little bit. And I gotta look at it dead on. Actually, wait. Alright, now clean up this crap so I can spin it around and start working on the detail. I think some of these artists must have access to some of these other masks that are out there. The only thing I have is a life cast. I don't actually have another mask. So I don't know how they're getting the perfect dimensions right from pictures. You can't do it. It's just, I don't care how good your eye is. If you can't see every angle, there's no way. You know, these artists, you know, they work in Hollywood. They have access to things that we don't. And that's why a lot of us don't get this thing real accurate. Truly believe that. I do. Nick Mopagano, another story. And that's why I have respect for the man. Because I don't think he has access more than we already do. You know what I mean? I think the what do I know though, you know? I've always had a pretty good eye. I've always been pretty good. I never really did anything with faces though, or you know, so there is something wrong with his chin, and it's driving me nuts. And I think it's too far back. I think the chin's too far back. Let me try something. And also, I think it's too square in here. This might change it. This might work. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the chins should be even with this lip. I'm looking at it now. It should be even, not so much here, but right up in this area. Yeah, I think this is changing it. I do think it's the chin. The chin's too sunken in. You tell me, you starting to see a difference in change here? I think the chin was too far in. Yeah, that's definitely, I think it's starting to straighten itself out now. This area here has to be brought up a little more. Oop. That's nice. There's some of the old clay in there, that's why. Yeah, that's definitely the problem. I think I found the problem, guys. Chin was too sunken in. You look at something long enough, and you'll figure it out. Yeah, it was definitely the chin. What's that say there, guys? Custom. Yes, Asylum. Yes, I will not back out of my promises to you guys. Believe me. I just have to get it finished. It's nerve wracking the amount of work that has to be done to these things. To get it right, I have to. You could say, outside of calling me an asshole, maybe, but I don't. I take constructive criticism. I don't. That's why I like having you guys' eyes on this, because it's better to have more than one person looking at this, especially if you're artists and your collectors. Collectors really know what they like, and they see what they like, and they're happy with it. But I really will not. I haven't sold one mask in 3 years that I've been out in this business, and it's because I'm such a perfectionist. I wasn't happy with anything that I made. So until it's right, it ain't getting sold. I will not sell something that doesn't look good. I'd give it away before I'd sell it. But I don't even want that bad product out there. I don't want people having something that looks like crap. And I'm new to the business, so I can't really, like I said, I can't I can't really criticize other artists. I can't do that because I'm not in any position to actually criticize another artist because I'm still, like I said, I'm new to this business. Yeah, that's what was wrong with this. As I'm fixing this chin now, that I've protruded the chin out a little bit further. You'll see it in a minute. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Still doesn't quite look right. I don't know what it is. Hold on. Let me see what the profile looks like now. Yeah, that's getting closer because the chin definitely has to be rounder. Okay. Rounder in the front. It was right in here. Now, what I can see is now I'm just shaping. Okay. What is it? What is it? What is it? That looks right. That looks right. I don't know, guys. I just have to keep studying pictures until I get this right. I know this eye cut's not quite right. I have to figure it out. That's here or there. The other thing that's not quite right too, and I can show you as I do this, is this pitch is a little bit wrong. And all I'm going to do, roll out a noodle of clay, and change that pitch just a little bit. Let me read your comment. I saw it pop up. All right, what did you say? Okay. Still get a mask? Yes. How? Yeah, the chin's starting to look better. I just have to pitch this better. I think that's part of the problem too. So I need to get over on this side. I need to pitch this back this way, but I need my scooper to do it. There we go. Now I don't have have to do here. Always turn it forward once you're done doing the messy job of doing that. I don't know why I messed with that ear, because I got to fix that whole thing's got to be changed. The head shape has to be changed. Yes, this was. Yeah, you see what's going on now, guys? See what it looks like now? It's getting there. Yeah, the chin was way off. All right. Still not quite there yet. I love it. I'm not having any issues with my internet. Yay! Cross my fingers. Jim Thorburn, yes, we're getting there. I had to fix a lot. I took down a lot of the scowl that was right here. I fixed the nose to more, almost perfect, other than smoothing it out. I mean, that's we're a ways off from doing that. I'm just trying to get the generalized shape down just right. I always like to add a lot and then take away. But I was having problems with the chin area. The chin now looks right. But is the scale far enough out? I also rounded over the eyes, the eye cuts. That was also an issue. And if you look at the beginning of this video, I showed the 2018 mask, and he kind of replicated that mask with the shape of the head. I also brought the lips back to where they were, depth-wise, and I also dug deeper in and widened the lips a little bit, only because because I needed it flat from here to here, crossed, All right, and then it tucks in. That's the key to the lips. You would never know that um, with a two-dimensional picture, and that's the hard part. I think one of the hardest things to do is figure out where you're making a mistake. Where is the issue? Where is the problem? When you're looking at something and you're really trying to figure out, okay, what is wrong with this? The one thing that I don't like about the sculpture so far is it feels like the face is too long. Um, that's going to change when I widen the top of the head. And why not? Let's. I got clay soft enough. I can start adding a little bit of clay to this. I can't go off that picture. I don't want to try and dig out that picture. I don't want that picture. I don't want to use. I don't want to. I don't want to move off of where I'm at right now. Just trying to get the lip still not quite right. What the hell? The chin still feels like it's still not far enough back. Let me see something. Yeah, the chin is almost even with the scowl, so that's where it needs to be. Interesting. But now another thing as an artist, and you might find this is crazy, but you get to the point where you're not seeing things anymore, and that's when you have to stop and you have to spend a lot of time looking at pictures, and that's what I do. I'll stop my sculpting, look at a lot of pictures, and then come back and start working on it again. And that's how I do my work. Study, 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 as they say. Always studying. There's still something that doesn't look right from here to here. I still have not figured it out yet. Is it the lip? It might not be straight up and down enough. I hate to tell you this. Too much of an angle here from the nose to the top of the lip. I got to cut it back further. Latex, whatever I do. I'm nowhere near. Yeah, holy shit. I'm nowhere near done. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, it looks so close." It looks now not even warm yet. That's going to help with a lot right there. Oh yeah. The only way you get into to really fixing this is sneaking in, sneaking in, sneaking in. You know, you're constantly working on little pieces at a time and trying to straighten out what you think you're saying. The tool works nothing. It's the eye that can really mess you up. Yes, that's definitely making a big difference. We're losing that puckering look right in here, guys. Take a look at that. Now, I don't have the we're not losing the shape of the lips yet, but we're losing that puckered look as I do this. So much better. The thing I'm not going to do is I don't want to add clay to this again. I want to keep it where it is and then just carve into the center of this. Because I think this sticking out too far here was making this look weird. So the chin area wasn't looking right. Now, damn it, what kind of tools do I have that I can actually get a nice shape in there? I'm really trying to get the shape right. I need something that's, what's the right shape to get that? I don't want it to be scooped. I need it to be inverted a little bit. don't think I have a tool like that. No, I don't think I have a tool like that. Nope, that's round. And this isn't a cutter. This is just a different tool for this now. I don't know how good this is going to work, but we're going to try it. I'm just taking very little out at a time here. I need a different tool. I need a different tool. I think I'm going to have to make a tool just for the nose area. Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen. I've got to make this tool. How can I make it? I need it shaped Ooh, I might be able to do something with this right here. Let's see what we can pull off here, guys. I'm changing the shape of this, and you'll see what I'm trying to do in a second. All right, I need my little, not my little, my big ones. show you what I'm doing in a second. Hopefully this works. I need it more round. Give me a second. I'm shaping a wire right now. That's what it is. A wire cutter. There we go. Okay, here's the shape I needed right here. You see that? That's the shape I needed. I gotta figure out, there's the cut side, okay. Yeah, too deep, okay. All right, so how do I get it shallower than that? I don't know. I think. Let's open it up again. All right, see this tool is actually going to be very handy in doing nostril flares if I can get it right. All right, so what I need to do is rebury that. I've made it very shallow, and you'll see why. You'll see in a minute. Let's see what happens here. I'll fill in that deep crevice. What I'm trying to get accomplished is this wide, this rounded shape from the inside. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so, interesting tool. Now I'll fill that in a little bit. Wow, that's going to work good. It's not perfect. So one thing about doing this kind of thing, you have to make your tools sometimes. looks a lot better. Holy mackerel. What a little bit of difference. Now I'm just going to throw a bead on each side of this. A small bead. Very small. I'll read your comment in a minute, guys. Yes. Wow. I like making tools. Like we're really getting close on these lips. And so now I'm going to brush. I just want to see some details. What this will do, it'll also take the shine out of the trying to get that shit in my eyes. I'm just looking to fix any areas. And you can't really see the imperfections until you smooth it out a little bit. Now, take my naphtha sponge, squeeze it out. Now you know I got a lot to do on these. There it is. I see a little piece of hair. We are getting closer and closer and closer. Nope, that ain't gonna pinch nothing. Only way to get that out of there. There it is. Piece of hair out of there. There. Put a little softening touches up here, over here. We're getting there, guys. A little slowly but surely, but we're getting there. Now, I can't really do much more of this tonight because I just did the whole thing in naphtha. Once you put the naphtha on here, it's got to sit for like 2 hours for it to stiffen up. Well, not quite that long, but too long for me to keep waiting for it. I wanted to treat this real well with naphtha anyway before I go and try and widen the head. I even have to probably take off the ears to do it. All right, so what are you guys talking about, and what are we talking about? The problem is the length of what? The more that's the bridge of the nose this way. No, because if I shorten this any this way, I take from the bottom, this becomes too long. If I take from the top, the cheek line, well, the only way I can take from the top of this is if I add more clay to the eye cuts, and I have to make sure I keep the eye cuts where they are. I can't lower those eye cuts because you got to remember what's behind these eye cuts is the armature, and that's where the eyes line up. And if I lower those eye cuts, guess what happens? The mask doesn't line up in your eyes. So I can't lower the eye cuts, and I can't lower. The only way I could change this is by taking from the bottom, bringing the nose up a little higher, which I don't think it's that far off from where. I mean, it's not far off at all. I think it's actually very close to what it needs to be. And the lip line, I'd have to bring the lip line up. But if I bring the lip line up, I've got to bring the chin line up. And if I, just one thing leads to another. You got to be very careful. So we are getting there, but we are still ways off from achievement here. I have these nostril flares looking a lot better, rounded, and they don't come all the way out. You don't put the dug out area, it doesn't go all the way to the end of the nose. If you do that, then it looks elongated. It doesn't look right. So not too wide. The nose looks perfect. Really good. The nose looks right on the money. I can't go any further with that. The chin line still needs to be worked on a little bit. This area here, something wrong with it. I still haven't figured it out, but I'll get it. I'll get it right. I'll get it right. You guys still with me? Say yes. Who's out there? I have the picture of the over top. But you know what? Let me. I'll get rid of the picture now because I'm kind of done sculpting for tonight. Now that I still see them live. Yeah, it looks a lot better on camera. Sculpture looks a lot better on camera now. This area isn't quite right there. I have to bring that lip out just a little bit. The upper right-hand side. That corner right in there is just a little bit too dug in on the top. Yeah. This needs to come out to here and then go in. I'll fix that. Can't do it now. Can't do it now. I've got this too soft from the solvent, naphtha. And once I widen the head, that'll be good. The upper head will be on the money. For watching. Asylum, looking good. We're getting there. Yeah, this is bothering me a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do real quick. I got to sneak this in because I don't want to overdo it. I'll fix that later, but you get the general gist of what has to be done here. A little too soft to be working on, but I'm just trying to be gentle with it, just to give you an idea of what has to be done. Once that stiffens up overnight, then I'll be able to carve this in right. Yeah, that's so much better looking there. That upper lip has to be right. Some would say I'm sharing secrets, but they're not secrets to me, and since I'm the one discovering these secrets, I'll share what I want to share. How's that? That's how I feel about it. Alright, so we need to paddle up. Come on. Alright. Yeah, that looks a lot better. The problem is I screwed up my lump here, my bump. And sort of gonna fix that. All I gotta do to fix that. Get the junk off of it first. Looking better, guys? It ain't right yet. I'm not going to be able to smooth this out until I get this clay to be harder. Yeah, this has got to be smoothed out with clay's got to be harder for this to. Every time clay's too soft. I have to wait. I have to wait. I've got to wait. I got to refix this corner a little bit. Yeah, but that's out. Now it's protruding out right. We'll get it perfect. Don't worry. Keep working at it. The bridge of the nose? You mean in here? Or here? Now you can't really thin this out too much here, believe it or not. It's pretty thin there. You really don't, because it gets a little wider in here, and if you start tapering that too much, you'll have. I'd have to look at the mask better. I'll have to look at the mask and see what you're talking about. I don't have a picture of it in front of me right now. I don't want to start altering anything without that picture right in front of me. Ugh. Yeah, I gotta have a little bit more clay right in here. That's not round enough. Damn it. Losing my tools. Yeah. Working with crumbs of clay, crumbs of clay. That's what we're doing. I forgot about this technique. That shapes it nice. Yes, sir. That works. That works really nice. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. 'Cause, 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 But I think I'm going to cool it. I think I'm going to cut it tonight, guys. And now my internet's back up and working. You guys can join me again the next couple of days. Today's Sunday. I mean, I'll be back on again tomorrow. Tomorrow I got to get blood work done first thing tomorrow morning. That's why I kind of want to get up. I want to go to bed soon, and I got to eat before I go to bed. And then I'll get my, is it 10 o'clock? Yeah, it's 10 o'clock, I think. That's what it says, either 10 or 11. I can't go without food for much longer, because if I do, I'll let you. Yeah, that mouth still doesn't look right. What am I going to do? You know? Let me give you a more straight on. That's straight on. And we're not there yet, so don't over criticize, because we are not done by far. So we're working on it. We're trying to get it done. We're trying to get it done for everybody. And I know Pipe Master is looking forward to this finished mask. I just have to get it finished for him. And the rest of you guys, I'm just getting so tired. I'm not awake. That's why I'm really draining right now. I stayed on a little longer than I was going to tonight, but that's okay. Next up, the widening of the top of the head, because I think that'll bring it in more. And I think I have to fix this side of the chin by a lot, right in here. That has to be fixed. This side looks like it's okay. Underneath the lower chin, underneath the lower lip, I mean. It's this side that has to be fixed. Right in there. Yeah. What are you going to do? Keep working at it until you get it right. All right, guys. I'm going to say goodnight. Thanks for tuning in and joining me on my stream here at Custom Corpses. I'm going to wish you all a good night, and I'll see you on the next video. I'll stream tomorrow night. Let you know how things are going. I got to get blood work done tomorrow. In time for Thursday and Friday. Yeah. No, it looks like Wednesday and Thursday I have to get my stress test. I'm hoping that's what it is. Anyway, peace, everybody. See ya.